guys, welcome back to ShePropTalk. I'm Beverly from Downen Creative Studios, and today, sitting right next to me in my tiny little dining room is Mel from Deela Designs.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, yeah. Actually, I kind of talked you into this. Like, oh, you're gonna be in town? You want to do a podcast?
I mean, I figured it'd come eventually.
It was just a matter of time.
It was a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I'm psyched to talk to you because I've been kind of a fangirl of yours for a long time, since we accosted you at Rose City Comic Con that number of years ago.
I love that you guys always explain it as being accosted, and I'm just like, it was fine.
You
like,
seem pretty chill, like hanging out on the floor. So, listeners, we went to Rose City Comic Con, and I think it was one of the first ones that we had been to, or the second one, because Brett had been following Mel, Deela Designs, for a while, and loved all of your photos, which I think Vic, your boyfriend.
Yes, Lucid Visual Photography.
He's awesome. Go follow him. But so Mel is trying to relax on the floor, which is clearly a sign of like, I'm out of service. Like, I'm off duty, cosplayer, hanging out on the floor.
I was wearing my Diablo Wizard, and it was like a lot of Warbla and really painful.
Yeah.
Like really painful. But I didn't care. Like, I wasn't being accosted. I was just chilling in a corner, you know?
Well, here, like, I was, like, mortified. Like, Brett, no! It was, like, slow motion.
I think you were wearing your jean gray. Were you wearing your jean gray?
That sounds like our jean gray days.
Yeah.
But, yeah, as he's, like, going up to you and be like, I know you. And you're looking at him like, what?
Yeah.
You were very sweet. You were very sweet. He was very excited. And then I was like, just play it cool. She's really cool. Maybe we're not supposed to be talking to her like this. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm panicking. She's so awesome. I hope she doesn't hate us now. Oh my God, Brett, stop talking to her. God. So that's exactly what was going on in my head like way back then. Have I ever told you that?
Yeah, you've told me that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
not in such detail.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I thought you were just being a shy wallflower,
No.
because you were standing back.
I
Because
was
Brett
doing
was definitely the person that was like...
I was definitely channeling my inner like teenage girl. Like, she's too cool for me, and I can't really talk to her.
Listen, guys, I have never thought I was cool, like, ever.
Yeah. So you were wearing. Well, the other thing that I remember you wearing maybe at Rose City was Battlestar Galactica. What's her name?
I didn't wear Battlestar Galactica.
No?
I was wearing Daenerys.
Oh, it's Daenerys. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. And the thing that I loved about that, because while you were talking to Brett and I was like freaking out, I noticed that you had like a ton of tattoos, but it was all covered with makeup. And I think that's the first time I ever really saw that. And then I started looking even more. I was like, oh my gosh, she's got like a ton of tattoos. So I was wondering how do you cover a tattoo really well?
It's a pain in the butt.
Because you've got a lot of them.
I have a lot. If you're watching the video, I have a lot. I would say my body is 60% covered.
But they're so cool. Like that last photo shoot that we did when you came over and Brett did it. We'll talk about that one in just a second.
A body paint is not my favorite thing to begin with. And covering tattoos is such a process, especially if you have a lot of dark color. And the only reason I cover my tattoos is because I am kind of an Emilia Clarke lookalike. It's the only cosplay I ever cover my tattoos for because we look a lot alike. Yes. My mom calls me Khaleesi.
Oh my God. You know, it's such a terrible thing. I kind of hate you.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Like, I get strangers on the street, even when I'm not blonde, be like, you kind of look like that girl. And I was like, I know. I am aware.
Have you ever been like, yeah, no, that's totally me? Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone I'm here.
No, I'm not that suave. I'm just like, thank you.
Oh, what a terrible problem to have. So like, is there a certain kind of makeup that you use to cover it up, or like a certain process that you have to
So I use a lot of. There was back in the day. I don't even know. I haven't researched the makeup in a while. I use like a Derma Blend concealer stick because it's really thick. So you do like layers of the Derma Blend.
Okay.
and then you're doing layers of like your normal body paint. So like you can get a nude tone body paint and airbrush it on. The main thing is you need to make sure it's not opaque, because they make opaque tones and then they make more concentrated colors. Okay. So if it's opaque, it's going to show through more. And for me, I can't completely cover things because I have spots in my tattoos that are actually kind of raised just because like the tattoo is a little too deep and it's a little superficial scarring. So you're still going to see like the bumps. I am not a professional makeup artist. I am not very good at it.
She's really good at it.
I fake my way through it. So, so yeah, it's a process of just testing. Oh, hi, Pris.
Yep. And here she is, everybody.
Say hello to the kitty.
Oh my gosh. I swear.
Full Pris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely a process. So it's like doing like a thicker concealer and like doing like Ben Nye like translucent powder.
Okay.
And maybe like a spray fix and then something on top of it.
There's Pris again. Hopefully she'll just kind of chill out. So when you do you do anything in between the layers? Do you let it set for a little while?
Yeah, I let it set. Because otherwise, it depends if you're using, it's the same thing as using any kind of body paint too. Like there's the alcohol based and the water based, or the water-based, water activated, I guess. I use the alcohol based because it stays on better.
Okay.
And but if you don't let things dry in between, it'll get kind of sticky underneath the layers. Like I always notice like my elbow joints kind of getting sticky if I don't let it set enough and set it with enough powder.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've used the Ben Nye translucent stuff to block out my eyebrows for like, or not my eyebrows, my temple hair actually for the Hella helmet.
Oh, okay.
So that stuff is awesome. But I have to like press it in, and now I use it for regular makeup.
I mean, you can use any kind of like white setting powder that you use with your makeup. It's just like when you're doing your full body, you're going to need more. So use something that's cheaper, not your Makeup Forever $30 tiny little pod. Like.
Yeah, keeping cosplay on the cheap. Hang on, I gotta start my timer because otherwise I'll be talking for like 2 hours, which would be fine with me.
I mean, we do it anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, are we recording right now?
Yes, we are.
I
guess this is a more formal setting.
I know we don't normally sit at a table and talk like this. Usually there are drinks. Mel and I both have drinks.
There are always drinks. We're drinking rum.
Cheers.
Cheers, Simple.
Wait, what was that? Was that a Swiss thing?
Yes.
Wait, say it again.
Sunvol.
Sunvol?
Sunvol.
Sunvol. Okay. Sunvol.
I have certain terms I use from just being raised around a mom that doesn't speak full English.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So there's certain things I'll say. I don't say bless you, I say gesundheit, which drives my boyfriend crazy. Because he thinks gesundheit just sounds atrocious. He's like, it's just a weird sounding word. And I'm like, okay, sorry.
I say gesundheit.
I mean, it's pretty common. A lot of people say it.
Oh yeah, well, I like it. Well, let's see. I do have a list of questions.
Okay.
We'll see if we get to all of them.
Okay.
But, the makeup one was the
We'll see if I can answer them.
Yeah. Oh, you want to know something? I have a tiny little tattoo. So not that I ever need to cover it up because it's like the size of like 2 square centimeters on my back. I am such a wuss. So if I ever need help covering that up, I'll come and find you.
You let me know. It'll take all of 2 seconds because it's this big.
It's such a tiny little tattoo. So you were just recently in Paris.
I was.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So last year I definitely took a big break from cosplay for myself. One of my really good friends is Alicia for Vixen Cosplay.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She hires me a lot for commissions for her sewing parts because she hates sewing, and I guess I am okay at it.
Oh, yeah, yes, you're pretty okay at it.
So, and sometimes I'm her cosplay handler because I know what it's like to be in a horrible costume.
A lot of your costumes are like giant and you can't see.
Yeah. I always blind myself. I can't walk. They're really heavy. I tend to gravitate towards things that it's a challenge for me. I'm like, no one's ever done this. This is weird.
Right.
This makes no sense in any sort of, because it's from a video game, so nothing like engineering wise makes sense. So let me take this on. So I went to Paris Games Week to be an official cosplay handler for a group of really awesome cosplayers. Mainly because of Vert Vixen, because I'm piecing her together as she goes. There's a lot of moving parts. She was cosplaying Fury from Darksiders, so THQ Nordic brought us out, and it was a really cool experience. It's a 5-day con, which in my opinion is way too long.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a lot.
I like 4 days is like tops. 3 days, perfect.
I think 3 days is perfect.
Yeah.
I think 4 days by the 4th day, I'm like dragging on the floor and being like, somebody feed me.
I usually get to the point where I just need to just check out. Be like, I just can't deal
Wear
with people
normal
anymore.
clothes.
Yeah. I need normal shoes.
It's a lot of social interaction. And it's way different being in a country where you don't speak the language and most people don't speak the language. And you're trying, because for me, it's like they had these huge weapons that are on the floor and I'm trying to keep people back from stepping and breaking on their weapons and trying to have some personal space. And, the language barrier kind of sucks when you're like, no, please don't step on that. But I mean, it was a good experience. I don't know that I ever need to hit Paris Games Week again, because by the time it happens, most of the big games have been released for the year. I go to PAX, I've gone to E3, so I've already, I don't need to play anything. Yeah. Because I'm just going to go home and play it.
Yeah. So what parts did you make for Alicia's costume?
I did most of the sewn parts. So I did the pants and the under corset that she's attaching all the armor to, and the gloves. And it was my first time working with leather. And I sanded a lot of her pieces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because she cast a lot of those, right? Or
she 3D printed a lot. There was some cast pieces as well, I think. I flew to Texas to see her to pretty much sand for a week straight.
Oh, that sounds like a vacation.
I'm a really nice friend.
You are a really nice friend.
I mean, she paid me, but I guess I'm not that nice.
So do you have any tips for someone that's getting into sewing with leather?
Not really. I'm not a professional at that. I mean, this is my first time really using leather. I used a really thin leather because I don't have an industrial machine. So there's different weights of leather. So if you're doing a thinner glove or a corset, your machine can probably handle it. But if it's a thicker hide, you probably need a stronger industrial machine.
Yeah.
I don't want to test my machine and break it.
Oh, I totally get that. Especially when you're when you have one machine and you have a deadline and you don't want to make anybody else mad. That's needs it.
I now have 2, so now maybe if I wanted to test it.
Now you just jinx yourself. Next project, your first.
I'm also on the market telling my grandma you don't use your sewing machines anymore.
Oh my gosh. You know what I've noticed that I can't wait to be a grandma old lady, because apparently the thing is to spend $14,000 on a sewing machine.
Oh yeah, my grandma has a beautiful baby lock serger, and that's what I have my eyes on, because my serger is crap.
Just go write your name
on. and I've told her, I was like, don't you dare sell that.
Oh, yeah.
Or decide, you consult me first, because I'm the only other person in the family that sews. Yeah. And my grandmother has 30 grandchildren. There's a lot of kids in the family, so I'm I have put my name all over it.
Awesome.
And she's like, but don't you have a serger? I was like, yes, but that doesn't matter. I'm collecting machines.
Yeah, I have to. We talked a lot on the last episode with Abby about getting your machine serviced. I got to do that still.
Oh, I'm the worst.
I just need to plunk the money down and just do it. Get it over with. Rip that Band-Aid off.
Yeah, you really should. You should. I should. Yeah. We all should.
Yeah.
Get your machine serviced,
Yes.
but I'm still probably not going to get
I know.
I'm the person that,
I'm
like,
gonna forget.
it starts making a noise, and I was like, oh, where's my screwdriver? I'm taking this thing apart. I'll figure it out. It might take me a few hours, but I've torn my machine apart a few times.
Oh, God. That's like my nightmare.
Yeah.
God.
I just... why not?
Yeah.
My machine is not like a $5,000 machine, so I don't feel bad doing that. Like, I have cheap machines, you know, because that's what I can afford. Yeah. But, you know, if I can fix it myself and not pay someone, I'm probably going to try.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all makers and creators.
Exactly.
We can figure it out,
totally
right?
Figure it out. Or, you know, just ask everybody, like, what's wrong with my machine? That's what I did last time. Yeah. And I still had to take my machine in, and it turned out to be just a tiny little bit of, like, thread that was stuck in the bobbin case or whatever that thing's called.
And that's usually what...
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like, I thought the whole thing was garbage, and then I took it in, and the guy was like, oh, and he did, like, 2 seconds worth of, like, unscrewing it and loosen it, and he pulled out this teeny tiny little, like, 2 centimeter long thread, and it was fine after that. Yeah. It's like, oh... And he didn't charge me for it, so that was nice.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is if you take off that thread plate on the bottom, if you just take that out, you can see usually so much.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
depending on what you're working on,
fuzzies and things that have fallen in. And so I try to dig that, but I go a step further and just, like, take apart my whole machine and start cleaning things out. And then just, like... I always have machine oil, so I'll oil it while I'm in there. Yeah. Wow. You know?
That's amazing.
I go a step farther.
Dang, girl.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next time I have sewing machine problems, I'm going to call you.
If you decide you're going to take apart your machine, take pictures of what it looks like.
Good tip.
Before you totally take it apart.
Otherwise, that's going to be a pretty expensive bill at the sewing place.
Yeah.
Well, so you were here recently taking part in a project that Brett was, my husband, Brett, is a photographer. And he's got this little personal project that you participated in. And I just love those. Those photos are like one of my favorite photos from that whole session that you did, because your costume was just so vibrant and the wig is so cool. And
Thank you.
It's just, I just love it. So tell us what the character was or is, how'd you make it? And I want to talk about this wig because that was awesome.
So I did Great Fairy Terra. There's 4 fairies in Breath of the Wild. So I did one of them. To be quite honest, that costume is never going to be 100% finished because I had this whole grand plan for it of it being much bigger than it was, and then I got lazy. So there's a lot of little parts, and I taught myself to cast and mold, and for the first time to do all the little... Because she has all of these little jewels and they all look the same. And I was like, how am I going to make those all the same and save time? So it was my first time teaching myself to use Smooth On and make resin. And
wow. Yeah. What'd you use?
Just the quick resin. I think it was like a cure time of like 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I sculpted it out of... Not Monster Clay. I didn't have Monster Clay around. I used something cheaper that probably like melted when I heated it up too much. And I was like, I'm going to make this work. And I was just sticking it in the freezer to like harden it up.
Oh, wow. Well, it worked.
And then I was like, I'm going to make this mold work. It finally worked.
Oh, that's
There was a few bad tries, but I mean, it worked. So I cast all those and then painted them. And for because a lot of them are attached, so when I was casting them, I was actually embedding wire in them so they could be all conjoined together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So before
That's
it
cool.
cured, I was like laying wire in so they were all laying together, so I didn't have to figure that out later down the line. Oh, and then the wire bends, so as it moves with my body, it's not going to like break. And
yeah, you're a wizard. That's amazing. That's awesome.
I have my moments.
That's so cool. Okay, so tell me about the wig. Like, how did you make that?
Trial and error. Wigs are kind of like, I love big hair, but wigs intimidate me most of the time. And I looked at some Arta wig tutorials and some drag queen tutorials because they're usually pretty good at it. It's a lot of teasing and then like laying the nice hair over it to make it look as big as it is. So it's a lot of like teasing the wig. I think I sewed in a few extra wefts, and I used some things like I think I used a styrofoam cone to like make a perfect like triangle ringlet, and a lot of that hairspray glue. Is it got to be? The yellow can that everybody uses.
Oh yeah, no, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff's awesome. Oh, that's awesome, because that wig is just amazing. And how do you transport that around without getting it smushed?
Wig head and pins, and try to be nice to it. Yeah. I saw Cowbutt Crunchies have a really good tutorial about how she flies with her really cool wigs.
Oh, I saw that too, with the bag.
Yeah, the bag, and she cuts out like cardboard and like I should actually do that for my wigs, because I have a few really nice styled wigs and they can get kind of trashed in travel, and it was actually really smart. I was like, wow, I didn't think about that. That's so simple.
Oh yeah, and then that would be your carry-on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's worth it.
Well, if you have to fly. I don't fly to conventions too often.
Yeah.
That I'm cosplaying at. I mean, I've flown to conventions, but usually I'm just like drab.
Yeah.
Or something
drab, clearly.
Or something
very
small.
Drab. She's the drabbest of the drab.
So drab.
So one of the oh my god, I'm just remembering all the amazing costumes that I've seen you create. What are you working on now? Do you have anything in the works? Are you planning, or are you just kind of like starting the year with like, let's get some plans together and we'll work on what we're gonna do?
I do have some things in the works. I for years have been wanting to do a group Jetsons cosplay.
Oh.
So I have finally enlisted all my friends to do that at Emerald City Comic Con. So it's going to be me, Tina Rivet's cosplay, BH cosplay.
Awesome. JJ is part of that too, right?
JJ. She doesn't have an official cosplay name. Vander Snark on Instagram. And Cruiser Creations is gonna be my Rosie.
Oh my god. So
yeah,
that's gonna be
I've been like on Tina for probably 2 years about it, and I was like, it's happening, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. God, that's gonna be great. I saw JJ was working on blocking out the
she's doing Astro. Yeah. It's so cute. The only one we don't have is Elroy, because he's a little boy, and we're like, we want to drink. and we don't know enough people with like the perfect like little round face, because Astro's like just this tiny little round face.
Yeah.
So we were like, we may have the son, we may not. But that we're working on that. I haven't started it. I've been thinking about my plans of what I'm doing. And I have some dream projects for the year, because I really did take a step back for a couple years, because I think I experienced a lot of burnout.
Yeah. From
really big projects and overworking myself and making 20 cosplays in a year.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, wasn't there 1 year that you made like a ridiculous amount of
I did,
costumes?
And that was when I started experiencing the burnout. I think I made, it was around 20. And they weren't all for me. There were some for other people, but
still,
it was a lot.
That's insane. No, I remember was it before PAX? You had like 6 costumes at PAX or something like that.
It was the year that I did my my Assassin's Creed Link. So I did that, and then I did the video gaming gowns. So I made 3 gowns, and then I made like a semi-casual Peach and Shy Guy. So I made 6 costumes, 3 for myself, 3 for other people.
God, that's crazy. Those gowns were just amazing. They were so cool.
I still get people messaging me about, like, it's one of the things that people will find me and be like, can you make me one? And I'm like, can I not?
Do you take commissions?
I do occasionally. It depends on my schedule. Right now I am kind of open for commissions, but it just depends on the project. Like, I want to feel passionate about what I'm making somebody else.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I want it to be my best work. So if it's something that doesn't necessarily interest me, I probably won't take it. Or I'll suggest them to somebody that I think is better suited for the project.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, you were doing leggings for a while too, right? You had an Etsy store. Do you still have that Etsy store, or are you?
I do not.
Did you shut that down?
I shut that down this year. It was also something I experienced burnout for. Yeah, I made some nerdy leggings for a while, and that was great. But don't really like the Etsy platform too much anymore. I mean, it can be really great for some things, and a lot of things get buried nowadays because there's just so much on there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. It's hard to maintain like any kind of presence on.
Yeah, they really want you to pay for the promotion.
Ugh.
Yeah. And it didn't used to be like that, you know. I think it's a great outlet. It's a great landing pad for anyone that's like starting a small business. Like it definitely helps you. But I have some secret things I'm working on.
Secret.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So what conventions do you have coming up this year?
Emerald City for sure. That's always a must. And PAX is usually always a must. And Rose City. Those are always my, like, necessaries. And then from there, I just kind of, whatever I can afford to do and whatever I can.
Yeah, it's nice that we've got some nice cons up here.
We do.
Yeah. And we're going to Emerald City and then for sure Rose City.
Yeah,
and then
those are the ones that are always
in between.
Always on the ticket, and then it's like whatever else happens, if it happens, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, but exactly. Well, very cool. What other questions do I have for you? Oh, I wanted to ask you. So okay, these are going to be some questions. They don't have to be super long answers, and I've got a lot of them. So, are you ready?
Okay. Is this like speed round?
Speed round. I wanted to get like a little bell to give you like 5 seconds just to really stress you out. I'm just kidding. Okay. Favorite cosplay that you've made?
Aldrich.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the thing I feel like most people know me for now too.
Yes. Okay, so I don't think I saw this in person, but I think you told me the story of how you transported that costume to Emerald City.
Oh yeah. Okay, so for people that are listening and unfamiliar, I did Aldrich, Devourer of Gods, from Dark Souls 3. I am a Dark Souls tool. I love all things Dark Souls. I just love the lore. I love everything behind those games. And so I decided I was going to make the most obscure looking thing in the game.
Of course.
Which looks like a giant shrub with bones on the bottom and a giant crown on top and...
That you can't see out of.
That I can't see out of. There, yeah. Also blind. It's my favorite.
Per your usual.
My favorite thing. I am Matt Murdock.
That would be a weird mashup.
So my boyfriend, like, and also like 6-inch death heels because he's huge. So I wanted to be as huge as I can, and I'm a short little person. So I was like, how can I make myself taller without being on stilts? Mm-hmm. Like, stilts scare me. I'm pretty sure I'll break an ankle.
Oh, I definitely will.
So I had to be, like, lifted and hoisted and put in the trunk of his car. And it's just, like, shrubbery hanging out the back and me, like, rolling around, like, being like, somebody help.
My only question for you now is, did anyone take pictures of you in the back of that car?
There's a few like cell phone photos.
You're gonna have to find some and
there's definitely a few cell phones, and I'm pretty sure I'm like cracking up laughing and all of that. I took video though. Oh
my god, did you really?
I do remember that. I Facebook lived while I was in the back of the car because it was just so bizarre. I'm like, well, this is new. This is a new thing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was my first question. It's supposed to be fast. I love that story though. Just the visual of sometimes it's really interesting how we have to transport ourselves to the cons.
Yeah, and shout out to my friend Ariana for that because she was like my handler all weekend and she is a champ, like dealing with me in that costume. Like lifting my skirts as I walked and, you know, just like making sure I didn't trip on things because I couldn't see holding my hand when, because my boyfriend would zip out real fast when he could.
I can see that.
He's like, she's got this.
Vic. We're talking about you, Vic. All right. Next question.
Also, actually, quick funny story about that, because Vic needs his due diligence about Aldrich. When I was building him, he was so big and my apartment is really small. I broke down our dining room table.
What?
I broke down our dining room table so I could stick my mannequin in the dining area so I could build him. Oh my god. And the dining table still isn't back up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he came home from work one day and he was like, so what's going on here? As I'm like gluing grass, like individually placing grass to my skirt, like because he was just so big.
Yeah. And
for a while he was like just hanging out in the dining room.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
No, not at all creepy.
Yeah. It's totally normal.
Yeah.
Wow.
The things we do for cosplay.
Well, I have a half-naked mannequin in my dining room like the whole time. So anytime anyone comes here, especially my mother-in-law, she has to stare at the mannequin that is naked from the waist down. Most parts, all the time.
Yeah. So kudos to the people who put up with us.
Yes.
Because, yes, I didn't ask permission. I just was like,
this is
I
happening.
need this room.
Yeah.
Here's a mannequin. Stare at this while you're playing video games.
Oh my gosh. I think we should probably instigate like a national or worldwide handler / cosplay like friendly thank you day for everyone that helps us get in and out of cars, go to the bathroom, bring us food and water, deal with us while we're making these costumes.
They are the real MVPs.
They really are. They really are. All right. What is the least favorite cosplay that you've made? We all have that one. Or maybe not like the least favorite one, but like one that you were like, ugh. If you could go back to it and like fix it up. And if you don't have one, that's fine too.
I mean, I just have trouble remembering everything that I've made.
Or a part of a costume that like just drove you crazy.
I mean, anything I made with Worbla, I don't like anymore. My Diablo Wizard. I think I only have the crown left because I was like, I need more space. This is garbage. It's really crappily made. Bye. Yeah, there was like a pile of armor once that I was like, just getting rid of.
Yeah, it's interesting. I still have all of my old costumes, and it's hard to get rid of that stuff. It's hard.
I have so many, and I live in the tiniest apartment, so yeah, and a lot of the stuff I get rid of, it's not like nice enough to be like, does anybody want this? Like, I don't want anybody looking at the insides of those things, you know, because they were like the early days stuff that is just like there's some scary stuff happening.
Oh yeah. I don't know that you ever saw a wasp, but and I know I've mentioned this before, but
I saw.
Did you see the inside of it?
Remember, I helped you.
That's right. You had to help me. Oh my god! The night before.
The night before Beverly flew out to Dragon Con, I came over and she goes, "Hey, can you help me sew something?"
Yeah, that was like me up until 2 a.m. trying to finish up the last little thing. I had to put Velcro on the back of that thing.
I mean, thanks for trusting me.
Holy crap! That's how much like I don't remember the last few days of that whole experience.
Well, I'm sure that was all a whirlwind. But yeah, I mean, it looked beautiful though on the outside, so who cares what the inside looked?
That's right. All right. If you could only make one more costume with an unlimited time, unlimited budget, dream costume, unlimited materials, what would you make?
Okay, that's easy. So my dream project for this year is, it's not really, it's not a character, it's not comic book, it's not video game. I want to recreate a piece of art.
What?
So there's this artist, Peter Moorbacher. If you have the time, I really suggest you look him up. He does this whole series of like different angels. Mine is my phone background.
Oh, cool.
So the one I want to do is the Angel of the Night, and it's wings, it's giant, it's body paint.
Lord, that's beautiful. It's impossible.
It's most likely impossible.
And you won't be able to see out of it. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, I'm blind again.
Yeah, you're blind again.
Look at that, I'm blind
what
again.
What the heck?
So I suggest you guys look him up. It is my dream cosplay for the year. Lucid Visual actually turned me on to his art, and it's just stunning. Like, everything he does is stunning. And so I, in recent years, have been wanting to just more focus on passion products.
Yeah.
And try to not power build a million things.
Yeah.
So that would be it.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see that.
I'm sure everything in Dark Souls and Bloodborne, too.
Yeah.
Those are all on my list.
Well, that one has wings.
This one has
wings before?
I've never made wings.
Ooh,
and it's wings in a weird spot. It's like coming out from the hips.
Yeah. Ooh, cool. Hip
so
wings.
this is a new
God,
territory.
That's gorgeous, though. I can't wait to stalk you, see how you're making that. Cool. So here's some more questions. When you're working, do you watch TV? Do you have music going? Or do you listen to audiobooks or podcasts?
Wink.
Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
I do kind of a little bit of everything. I definitely watch a lot of TV. I like background noise for sure. I watch a lot of shows that I don't have to like necessarily pay 100% attention to. Like, maybe I've seen it before. Sometimes you need some dance music.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes I like a good podcast, although no offense, they're usually murder podcasts.
I know for a fact she's a murderino. If you don't know what a murderino is,
I am a murderino.
Yeah. So
which is also, my boyfriend is convinced I listen to them because I'm planning his ultimate demise. And I'm like, no, I listen to them to protect myself.
Yeah.
So I can defend myself.
Yeah. So we're talking about My Favorite Murder. It's a murder comedy podcast. They're not making fun of murder. They're just bringing the comedy into.
They're bringing
stars.
light to the
Yes.
subject.
And they're awesome, and we love them. And yeah, I know there are other murderinos out there, so shout out SSDGM. Okay, so here's some quick ones. Ready?
Okay. Fire.
Coffee or Red Bull?
Coffee.
Anime or live action?
Ooh.
Ooh. I stumped you on the second question.
Live action.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Books or music?
Music.
Beer or liquor?
Liquor.
Sweet or salty?
Ooh, sweet. I'm Swiss. Feed me chocolate. Always feed me chocolate.
What about cheese? Cheese is kind of salty. That's why I like salt.
But that's the thing, is sweet and salty, they go together.
That's true.
That's
Sweet
a trick
cheese?
question.
Oh, that was a trick question. We should definitely have some cheese and some crackers to think about it. Aquaman or Star-Lord?
Where is this one coming from? Star-Lord. Yeah. No offense, Jason Momoa.
No, it's fine. Me too. Hot or cold?
I mean, what does it pertain to? What situation? I like my coffee hot, but
yeah, that's true. Do you like hot weather or cold weather?
See, I like in between.
All right.
Moving
on.
I can handle cold weather. That's the thing. We live in the Northwest.
That's true.
I do like some warm weather, though. Like this drink that is making me feel like I should be on the beach.
Yeah,
in
right?
Maui.
Let's go. If you could have a drink with any character, who would it be?
Oh, God.
I know.
That's so hard.
Just one. It doesn't have to be the only one. It could be like the first one of many.
The first one. Doctor Strange.
Oh man, that's cool. Then he could just keep filling up your drink.
Exactly. And you know, he can just transport me in time if I need to.
To the beach.
To the beach.
Oh my God. I think you win with that answer. That's awesome. Okay, my last question for you. If you could give yourself advice. Sorry, let me start over. Oh my God. I need a drink. love water. All right, last question. If you could give yourself advice when you were making your first build, what would you say?
A few things. Time management, which I'm still working on.
Yeah, me too.
Time management and nothing is worth crying over.
That's a pretty damn good advice.
I mean, there's been a few, like, crying.
Oh, yeah. No, I still cry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always cry. I cry to commercials.
You're
it's
gonna
fine.
cry right now.
See? Just talking about crying makes me, like, tear up. I'm so emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's worth crying over. I've had some jobs, some cosplay jobs. And I always panic, like, at the end, the last few days. It's like, nobody's gonna like it, you know?
You know? You mean like,
when I've done stuff for Ubisoft and when I, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've been told by my boyfriend, he's come in and he's like, if you're gonna be like this, you're not allowed to take these things.
Yeah.
I'm like panicking, like.
It's so hard though, because there's that expectation, like, you know that other people are going to be looking at it, and it's just it's different than when you're making it for yourself, and you can see all of these little, like, these problems with it, and you do what you can to fix them, versus knowing that someone who is 100% familiar with this thing and you have, like, specs to fill, kind of a thing.
So, but
they give you, like, the reference pictures, and they're like, this is what we want.
I will say, though, most of them, I mean, I don't have experience with every person that employs, like, a costume designer or whatever, but they're pretty forgiving. Like, there were so many problems with mine because they gave me such a short time frame, and they knew I was going to be having to power through something.
Yeah. So, let me interrupt you for a second, because we're talking about you made Evie, right?
No.
You made
Maria from the Assassin's Creed movie.
That's right.
I did some promotions for Ubisoft when the movie was coming out. They flew me to San Diego Comic-Con, and I have a lot of really cool friends there. I'm proud of them all. I love them all.
You rocked that costume.
There was so many problems with it, though. And I could see that. I could see, like, everything I wanted to fix.
Yeah.
But all I heard after the events was nothing but praise. Yeah. Everybody was so impressed. Yeah. Everybody was so, but, like, I had such this negative connotation over myself because I felt inferior because I was standing next to Rick Bohr. If anyone knows who Rick Bohr is, RBF Productions. He's a cosplayer in Europe who's done, like, every Assassin's Creed costume. Like, everyone. And he is phenomenal. And I was standing next to him being like, I am chopped liver. I am not, I bow down to you. Cause, like, he is just phenomenal. His sewing, his everything. Like, he's done every Assassin's Creed costume. And, he's got hired by them a lot.
Yeah.
And so I, felt like chopped liver standing next to him. And he kept telling me, you look great. And I was just like, but it's like I had a limited time frame, and I still hear years later, people tell me, like, it looked so amazing, like, you did such a great job. But, like, I can't convince myself in my head that it really was a great job.
I just really hard.
We are our own worst critic, obviously.
I renewed one of my New Year's resolutions this year to stop pointing out the mistakes that I could see in my work. Stop pointing them out to other people. That was, like, my main point. Internets,
be kind to yourself.
Hello, yeah, be kind to yourself.
It's hard. It's hard.
Really hard. It's something that we all struggle with, I think. And if you don't struggle with it, then please tell us what the secret is, because
seriously,
it's a constant process. And I'm getting better at it. Like, I think the point I was trying to make was, if you are being complimented by someone, or you're standing next to, like, your hero costumer in something that you've created, and you're feeling really insecure about it, but they're giving you compliments, like, try to believe it because they mean it.
Yeah, and try to take the compliment, because it's so easy to be like, I sometimes recoil from compliments. It's hard for me to take
mechanism.
compliments. I'm like,
or like
I am an awkward potato.
Or you can still feel a little uncomfortable with a compliment, but don't don't say, oh, thanks, but this X, Y, and Z is wrong, and I really want to do this again, and this part came out terrible. Like, that is the part that I am really trying to never do again, because that's just putting yourself down.
I do this. I have done the same thing. Yeah.
So anyway, a couple of people I don't think really understood what I meant when I tweeted that, and I heard about that. A couple of people were like, well, I think that it's really good to make sure that you, if you're making mistakes, to learn from them. And like, that's not quite what I was saying.
Obviously. Yeah. I mean, we all are going to learn from our cosplay mistakes, because we're always teaching ourselves new things. But
oh, for sure. But don't stand there and be like, hey, here's my costume. Everything's wrong. This is everything that's wrong with it.
Like, it's there, but nobody else really does.
Unless you're using it as a teaching tool, then of course. But
nobody else knows or cares. They just think you look cool.
Exactly.
And that's the hardest thing, is like sometimes just like stepping back and being like, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for the compliment.
Well, Mel, you look awesome today.
Thanks.
See?
Thank you. So do you.
Oh, well, thank you. I did my eyebrows today. I have eyebrows.
You always have eyebrows, don't you?
Well, sometimes they're really thin, you know.
Oh, okay. I also did my eyebrows.
Did you really? They look great.
Thanks.
You're welcome. This is now the compliment everything podcast. Well, where can we find you? On the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the
on all the things. I am pretty much Deela Designs on everything, and Deela is spelled Deela. For those of you who want to know. I say that because Deela Designs comes from something.
Oh yeah, tell me what it is. You're going to say it, and then I stopped you.
Deela is my middle name.
Oh.
But technically, Deela is spelled wrong on my birth certificate.
Who spelled it wrong?
Well,
it's your parents
it's spelled Deela on my on everything, and it's when I was growing up, everyone would say Melanie Della, and I'm like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
But my parents are European, so I feel like phonetically they really didn't know how to spell it. So I changed it, and Deela comes from my middle name.
That's awesome.
So there's 2 E's.
Yes, 2 E's. Go find her.
I'm on Instagram under that, Facebook, Twitch. I'm gonna try to start streaming again.
Do it.
I'm gonna try.
I'll come heckle you.
I feel like I'm once again an awkward potato, but
that's all right. I'm also an awkward potato on Twitch.
And I mean, those are on Twitter too. Yeah, I guess I'm on all the normal things.
Places. Cool. Well, thank you so much for spending time talking to me. And we're probably going to go get some dinner now.
And probably drink more cocktails.
We're gonna drink some more. Hey, cheers.
Sunvol.
Whee! I guess I have to drink now.
Mm-hmm. Bartender!
Well, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Again, I'm Beverly from Downen Creative Studios, and
I'm Melanie from Deela Designs.
Yay.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. You have to come back after you do a secret cosplay.
I mean, I'm secretly at her house, like...
Oh, there's no secret about it.
I'm in Seattle area, and I come down, like, quite frequently.
Yeah, you have a house key.
I do. I'm that important. It makes me feel so special.
I don't know. Everyone else is going to be like, why didn't I get a house key?
Oh. Don't feel jealous, guys. It's just because I live far away.
And didn't you house sit for us once?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there.
When she was being cool at Dragon Con.
Oh my god.
I took care of the cats. The cats like me.
They do. Actually, that's why we gave her a key, because they like her. Well, thanks for tuning in, you guys, and please subscribe and say nice things on YouTube and also on iTunes and all those places.
Yeah.
All right.
See you next time. 5 stars.
5 stars. 5.
5.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.